Chapter 30 Chapter 154 Watson Family. Kiefer's POV. And quat. So annoying. You'll pay for this, and quat. I whispered while walking. And quat. Kiefer. What did I tell you? And quat. Mom asked in her signature remember what I said tone. And quat. Don't curse back. And quat. I answered. Innocently. And quat. And quat. And quat. Revenge is not the answer. And quat. Mom smiled at me, but I couldn't smile back. That Yuri Hanamichi defeated me again. I lost to him in the exam and in a fight. I hate him. And quat. Why aren't you smiling yet? And quat, she asked. And quat? Mom. I lost again. Dad is going to be mad at me. And quat, I said, sounding disappointed. I was disappointed, especially knowing that when Dad found out, he'd think his firstborn was weak again. He always said I would inherit everything he had. I'm only 7 years old, but I already feel pressured by everything. I feel like I have so many responsibilities in life. And quat. Don't think about your dad. I'll talk to him, and quat. She reassured me with a gentle smile. I had no choice but to force a smile. I didn't want to, but I knew Mom wouldn't stop nagging me until I did. We stopped at the school gate where Dad's car would pick us up. From the other side, I saw the one who had beaten me, Yuri, with his blue-eyed friend. He glanced at me for a moment but quickly turned his attention back to his companion. Dad's car arrived, and Yuri was gone. I felt relieved because I knew that if he were still around when Dad arrived, Dad would be even angrier when he found out what had happened. Once inside, the car started immediately. Through the window, I saw Aries. He was standing with his scary older brother. But I didn't care about them. My mind was still on Yuri. How can I get back at him? And quat. You lost to that Hanamichi again? And quat. Dad asked. I couldn't answer. I just bowed my head. I was waiting for Mom to say something, but Dad shot her a fierce look. And quat. I asked you a question, Kiefer, and quat. He said firmly. And quat. Oh Oro, and quat. I muttered. Dad suddenly slammed his cutlery down onto his plate. The loud clang startled me. I hated that sound, especially when it came from Dad. I was scared. And quat. Hon. It's okay, they're just kids, and quat. And quat. That's the problem. And quat. Dad interrupted Mom. And quat. Because he's a child. He needs to learn while he is a child. He needs to toughen up before he grows up. And quat. I wanted to cry, but I couldn't. If Dad saw me cry, he would get even angrier. I kept my head down. I was terrified of him when he was like this. I glanced at Keegan. He was staring at me, tears forming in his eyes. Even Keegan couldn't cry out loud. I looked down at the food in front of me. I had no appetite, but Mom's eyes silently pleaded, please eat. Even though I didn't want to, I forced myself to pick up my spoon and take a bite. And quat. Next time, make sure you beat that Hanamichi, and quat, Dad said. I nodded in response, but the moment I did, I regretted it. Especially when I saw the way Mom looked at me. Sorry, and quat. Keegan wants to sleep here, and quat, Keegan said, pointing at my bed. He liked sleeping in my room. He always did this whenever he was scared. And quat. No. Go back to your room, and quat. I told him. And quat. Keegan doesn't want to, and quat. He whined before suddenly jumping onto my bed and pulling the blanket over both of us. What the heck? And quat, Keegan, and quat. And quat, Keegan is sleeping, and quat, he mumbled, pretending to snore. I sighed and let him be. A knock sounded on my bedroom door. I didn't say anything. I already knew. It was Mom. The door opened, and I was right. And quat, how are my boys? And quat, she asked, smiling at me. And quat, Keegan is sleeping here. And quat, Keegan said with a grin. Mom kissed his forehead. She was about to do the same to me when a loud bang suddenly came from outside. And quat, Serena, and quat. Dad's voice boomed. And quat, where the hell are you? And quat. I knew Mom was scared, but she hid it. Well, she gave me a reassuring look. And quat, stay here. And quat, she told us. She was about to open the bedroom door when it swung open on its own. Dad stormed in, furious, holding a piece of paper in his hand. Keegan immediately clung to me. And quat, what is the meaning of this? And quat, Dad shouted, shoving the paper in Mom's face. And quat, are you stealing from me? And quat, no. That's my money. I have the right. And quat. Dad suddenly grabbed Mom by the throat. Keegan and I both froze in fear and shock. And quat, you have no right. This is my money. You have no money here. And quat, Dad roared. I wanted to help Mom, but I didn't know what to do. My whole body was shaking. I was just a kid. And quat, no. I'm in pain, K. Kaiser. And quat, Mom cried out, struggling against him. And quat, you really think you can hurt me? And quat, Dad shouted and suddenly slapped her. She fell to the floor, sobbing, calling out to him. But all we could do was watch. And quat, Kaiser, not in front of the kids. And quat, Mom pleaded through her tears. And quat, I don't care. And quat, he slapped her again. And quat, Dad, stop it. And quat, I shouted. And quat, Kaiser, please. And quat, Mom. And quat, Dad stopped but shot us a sharp glare. He grabbed Mom by the hair. And quat, if you speak up again, this won't be the only thing you get from me. And quat, he hissed. Then, he let her go and stormed out of the room. The moment he was gone, Keegan and I ran to her. I hugged her tightly. And quat, Mom. And quat, SSSAH, don't cry. Mom's okay. And quat, she whispered, hugging us back. I felt useless. I didn't do anything. We just stood there and watched as he hurt her. It's haunting me. It's a nightmare for both me and Keegan, watching our own dad hurt our mom. And we did nothing. And quat, Kiefer. And quat, one of my classmates called. And quat, come on, let's play. And quat, I shook my head and looked down. I wasn't in the mood to play. I needed to think. What should I do if Dad does that again? Suddenly, a ball rolled over to my foot. And quat, Kiefer, over here. And quat, someone shouted. I looked up. It was Yuri. Him again. Annoying. Did he throw the ball my way on purpose? Was he trying to get on my nerves? I picked up the ball and played with it in my hands. Then, I smiled at him. He smiled back, probably thinking I'd already forgotten what he did. And quat, want to play with us? And quat, he asked. For what? To prove that you're great at everything. And quat, sure. And quat, I answered quickly. He glanced at his friends. For a moment. Perfect. I grabbed the opportunity. With all the force I could muster, I threw the ball straight at his face. Bullseye. And quat, Yuri and quat, his friends shouted. He fell to the ground, and his friends immediately rushed to him. And quat. What's your problem? And quat, he asked. Angrily, his eye already turning blue. I sighed. And quat. Please, and quat. Yuri stood up, and blood dripped from his nose. And quat. He's bleeding. Someone call ma'am. And quat. He stared at the blood on his hand for a moment, then looked at me. Calm, unreadable. And quat. What's your problem? And quat. He asked again, his voice steady. And quat. Nothing. I just hate your face. And quat. I replied coldly. And quat. You're awful. We're reporting you to ma'am. And quat. The blue-eyed kid shouted, pointing at me. And quat. TS's. Go ahead. And quat. And quat. Why, you, and quat. He was about to charge at me, but Yuri blocked him. And quat. Leave him alone, Percy, and quat. Yuri said calmly. And quat. You won't gain anything by fighting him, and quat. That irritated me even more. What's he trying to prove? So arrogant. He looked at me again, still with that expressionless face. He was so relaxed, even with his nose bleeding. I clenched my fists. How can he stay so calm in a situation like this? Something inside me snapped. I lost control of my body and rushed at him. I threw a punch straight at his face, and he hit the ground again. And quat, you're crazy, and quat, the blue-eyed boy screamed before suddenly lunging at me. Does he even know how to fight? Before he could hit me, I knocked him down first. But just as he fell, a fist struck my face. Yuri, I couldn't hold back anymore. I swung at him, and we started brawling. Some of our classmates jumped in too. In the middle of the fight, I was caught off guard when a kid suddenly jumped on me. And quat. Ouch, and quat. He cried. Aries. I didn't know how Aries got involved, but suddenly, he was standing and throwing punches too. I turned back to Yuri. We were both landing hits wherever we could. I didn't care. I just wanted to get my revenge. I put all my strength into one final punch. He staggered and struggled to stand. Did I win? I won. And quat. Mark KEIFER Watson. Report to the guidance office. Now. And quat. Dead.